to Summoner's Rift.
You are a scourge upon the world.
30 seconds until minions spawn. Minions have spawned.
No! I do not live under a dead I shall bring them terror! Your voices are still
First blood. An ally has been slain. Enemy double kill.
6 and gave her a shutdown.
An enemy has been slain. Slain. An enemy has been slain. I will not crash. Killing spree. Rampage. Turret plating will soon fall. turret has been destroyed. Rampage. Unstoppable. Your team has destroyed a turret. Dominating.
Most slaves in debt would flee if they survived, but this one stayed. Abbas smirks knowingly. He understands the union's rules. Debt binds them to us like chains. There's no escaping it. The subordinate leans in, his voice dropping. There's more. He unlocked the first circle. Abbas pauses, his cigar frozen midair. A bait slave? Unlocking the first circle? That's unheard of. The man presses on. He's also requested a change to his contract, to become an adventurer. Abbas scoffs, his disbelief apparent. A slave thinking he can rise above his station. Who does he think he is? The final revelation lands with weight. Mr. Rakan himself has ordered you to handle this matter personally, the subordinate adds. Abbas stiffens, his expression darkening. Rakan? An executive of the Union? Why would someone like him care about a mere slave? His mind races. No. His gaze shifts to the book on his table, a sinking realization forming. Could it be because of that? El's voice cuts in, narrating the grim reality of his world. Under Queen Cygnus, slavery is officially abolished, but in truth, debt binds people just as tightly as chains. Those who cannot repay their loans become property of the Gaffhor Merchant Union, forced into labor to clear their debts. I was one of them, El says, his tone cold. He recalls how his father's illness left him desperate enough to borrow money for black moss, an expensive herb meant to save him. The Union inflated the price to a staggering 1,000,000 meso, and when he couldn't repay, he was sentenced to labor. The scene shifts to a courtroom where a cold-eyed judge delivers his verdict. El Pome, unable to repay your debt, you are hereby ordered to labor for the Union. El's voice hardens. For 6 years, I was their pawn, but now I have my chance for revenge. The scene transitions to Abbas's office, where El sits calmly across from him. My name is El Pome, he introduces himself, his expression unreadable. Abbas, already briefed on the matter, scrutinizes him carefully. So, you want to change your contract? Fine. I'll register you as an F-rank adventurer, Abbas says coolly. El offers a polite smile and thanks him before leaning forward, his tone firm and unwavering. I want E-rank, he states decisively. Abbas raises an eyebrow, irritation creeping into his voice. E-rank? You haven't even been assigned a rank by the Adventurers Association. What makes you think you're qualified? El meets his gaze without hesitation. I've survived over 100 gates as a bait slave. The virtue of an adventurer isn't monster hunting. It's returning alive. Abbas chuckles coldly, leaning forward. Survival, you say? Surviving as bait for 3 years isn't ordinary, but it doesn't make you fit for true adventuring. Do you think your pathetic survival skills will get you through a real challenge? El remains composed, his silence daring Abbas to continue. Abbas leans back, calculating his next move. Fine. You want E-rank? Prove it. There's a gate with 12 scars. 12 parties have perished there, leaving nothing but bones behind. It only allows 5 entrants at a time. Participate in that expedition and return alive. If you can do that, I'll consider you worthy. The scene shifts, and El soon finds himself standing among 4 other adventurers. The leader, Shev, a tank with a broad grin, greets him with a handshake. So, you're the rookie. Nice to meet you. Don't worry about your past as a bait slave. We're all professionals here. Their mission is to retrieve items left behind by the 12 parties who failed before them. The stakes are high as they step into the gate, a surreal, foggy forest stretching endlessly before them. Its dense mist cloaks the surroundings in an eerie silence, broken only by the occasional rustle of leaves. Shev quickly takes charge. The forest is too vast to search as one group. We'll split into 2 teams to cover more ground. They set up a base high in the trees, chosen for its strategic vantage point and cover. And then the teams head out. Later, as night falls, the group regroups at the base. The soft glow of the campfire illuminates their tired faces as they eat and drink together. Shev sits across from El, sharing light banter with the others. El gulps down his drink, quiet but observant, keeping his thoughts to himself while the others laugh. As the conversation winds down, they all turn in for the night. The forest grows deathly silent, save for the crackling embers of the dying fire. El lies motionless, seemingly asleep. Moments later, shadows stir. Shev and the others approach with dark intent, their faces betraying their sinister motives. One of them leans over El, whispering, "Is he out?" Another smirks, holding a blade. The herb we slipped into his drink could knock out a monster. Chev stays back as another party member laughs softly. Fire arrow wands go for at least 10,000 miso. This job's about to pay off big. The man with the blade nods grimly. Then let's get working, shall we? He raises the weapon, poised to strike L as he lies still. As he strikes, he notices something is wrong. Searching under the blanket, he shouts, "He's not here!" The group freezes, alarmed by the revelation. Chev, the leader, yells in frustration, "Find him!" He couldn't have gotten far. Before they can act, a massive explosion erupts nearby, engulfing part of their base in flames. Confused and panicked, the adventurers scramble. What happened? Why is there a fire all of a sudden? One cries out. From a distant tree branch, L watches the chaos unfold, a faint smirk playing on his lips, barely visible through the flickering firelight. So predictable, he thinks to himself. Chev, now furious, growls, "Damn it! This has to..."
In rehearsals, we would play around with scenes to build them out a little bit, but it was written.
You would improvise in your rehearsals just so you didn't know your lines. That's what that means. Man, I'm sorry to break it to you. If you're improvising in a rehearsal, it just means that you're like, oh, no, I got to make it up. And you just got to learn your lines.
Yeah, that's true.
You just do the lines in the
We
rehearsal.
could have been better actors and foregone the rehearsals.
Yeah, but the lines you were supposed to say were really funny.
Yes,
And
they
who
were.
wrote those?
Yeah.
Who wrote those?
Oh, they're writers. Writers wrote them.
Oh,
Yeah, a bunch of really funny writers.
okay.
Do you want names of the writers?
I don't know. Should we?
Isn't Armando Iannucci? Isn't he one of them?
Armando Iannucci created the show. He was the head writer.
Wait, hold on. Johannes is just naming what? You know all the writers of Veep?
Well, I know him because I know the thick of it.
Yep.
You know what, Matt? Me
This
and
is
Johannes.
the A team.
No. It is. I mean, it's.
This is the only team.
It is a team.
Oh, it's
You know
A
what I mean?
team. Okay.
It's
all right.
a team. So you are correct. It is a team.
Got it.
That is a factual statement. It is a team. But I'll say this: last year, 2024, the old John, I was a little harsh on Johannes,
Okay.
and I wasn't really a fan of letting him speak. But he also, I guess, wants to be a little involved, and so I gave him one question per show now that he gets to ask the guest a question, okay, that I definitely won't cut out and demand to be cut in the edit. So, Johannes, since you're such a fan of Mario Iannucci, a
Okay.
fellow Swede, why don't you ask a question about Veep to Matt, now that he's here? Now that you've already interjected, now's your time, Johannes.
Is there anything you learned while doing Veep that you bring with you into your life?
I think one thing I learned.
Well, that's getting cut. Okay, we tried. We tried. We tried.
There was nothing fertile
We
from that
tried,
question.
dude.
Yeah.
Johannes, see what you did? You killed it. You killed it, pal. That's fine. Another guest, I guess. Back to the funny stuff. I'm so sorry, Matt. I am so sorry.
You have good instincts. Yeah, we
He
gotta
did
edit
not
that.
know that you were a two-time Emmy-nominated comedian actor.
Yeah.
So, I thought of a fun game we could play. Johannes, get ready. Here's a long intro so you can get your little stuff together.
Welcome to
Okay, 'cause here's the
Summer's
thing.
Rift.
I had my production assistant look up your career for me, and you've done a lot, Matt.
30 seconds
You've
until
played
minions
so
spawn.
many characters. I wanted to play a game called Getting Into Character. I assume we'll have like a song or something. Otherwise, I'm just going to look like an idiot just pausing like that, Johannes, or something.
Yeah, we'll
Or
figure
go
it out.
as if.
Oh, okay, sorry. Thank you, Matt. I saw that you also direct, and I see why. Okay, here we go.
And keep the long pause. And then
Okay, got
Minions have spawned.
Hold on. Play it like it's real. This is really happening. Okay.
patterns. Yes, and.
I want to play a little game with you, Matt, called getting into character. As if. I actually want to talk about Veep still.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, want to talk about Veep.
Oh, so we're not playing a game.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. All right, no, for this game, Matt, the way it's going to work is I'm going to name the name of your character. Okay? And you got to tell me what project, what Maxwell special it was from.
Wow.
Okay?
I never looked at my.
Well, here's the good news.
You'll give me a clue.
I'm gonna, you know what? We'll do some improv, and I'll help you guess
Okay.
it if you struggle. Okay.
Okay.
But I'll say this. Usually on this show, when we play a game, we have like a really bad penalty that someone has to do, like drink something gross or eat something gross. But because I have a team today, nobody brought anything. So,
Oh, thank God.
yeah.
I dodged a bullet.
Actually, we'll just have to like improvise something, and then it will become real. So okay, here we go. So, Matt, if you get the question wrong, okay, I have a gun.
Okay.
I have a gun, Matt.
Okay.
Water gun! Improv. It's just improv. But you also improv. Still, okay. Here's the cure. Father, the rep. Father Pat. You're not getting wet. Very good, Matt. Okay, so Professor Glenn.
Son of a gun.
Lifeline. Help.
Okay, it sounds like a... I don't know. I've never seen this, but it sounds like what you would call a generic white family.
Generic white family?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, no, here we go. So, to help you guess it. Okay, here, take this, bill, and I forged it, and, just, give me your social security number.
Scam? Stealing identity?
Okay, if I pay, I'm
Artist.
Yeah.
Scam artist.
Yeah, but it's different.
Cam artist.
It's
Con artist.
Con artist, yes.
Con Air.
So
Was
that's
I in Con Air?
yeah.
I was in Con Air.
Con Air.
I remember being in that movie.
I'm positive that's what it is.
Oh my God, I love that movie. I gotta watch it again. I don't remember
Con
my
Air,
scene.
man.
I don't remember
You were
my
so
scene.
good at when Professor came in and he goes, I wouldn't take this plane, and then they did.
Yeah.
And then they
They
did.
should call this airline Con Air. Remember I said that?
That was so funny, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, wow.
Oh, this is good. I like this game.
Yeah. Also the Connors. Okay. So, you played Herb.
Herb.
No, you don't pronounce the H.
Okay. Herb.
You call them herbs?
No.
We'll have some oregano. A couple herbs. It's herb. You played herb.
I played Herb.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need another help.
But you knew the name.
Well, I mispronounced it.
Okay, here.
Santa Claus.
But
Office Christmas party.
I just used my first name.
Santa.
Okay.
Bad Santa.
But hold on. Opposite of good.
Bad.
Good. And okay, I'm stealing and I'm doing things that are very naughty. You know, I'm not good. I'm not an angel, but okay.
You're devil. Bad. Santa? Bad Santa?
Bad Santa.
I said that already.
Bad Santa.
I said it like 20 seconds ago.
Great. So you don't get wet. So you don't get wet.
Sorry. I
I'm
thought.
not gonna wet you. Just relax. I'm not gonna wet you. I'm not gonna hit you. What happened to Benedict? Okay. Oh, here's the deal. Okay. TSA.
An ally has been slain.
love that role.
Well, I think it's the only time I've played a TSA agent, so.
Oh, okay. Props to them.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a good character. I loved you in this one. I absolutely loved you in this role. So good. Special thanks.
That's normally at the end of a movie when
Yeah, you were at the end of the movie.
special thanks is normally somebody like thanks you for a favor you did for them to help them make their project.
Okay, what else about
So
the
it
character?
could have been
Tell me more
anything,
about
like
the
it's-
character.
Help me out. I don't have any
Okay,
memory.
this is probably like. Hey guys, can you do some work? Yeah. Okay,
Weed.
but if I go to
Weed.
a specific fast food chain that doesn't sponsor this show, you go. I don't want the small. I want to make it
Super
bigger.
size.
Yes.
Super high me.
Yes.
Super
right,
high me.
Super high me.
Doug Benson show, man.
Yeah, and you played Benson. What was that experience?
I don't remember that one.
Probably gonna use high. A little too much of that, you know. That's probably why, Matt.
Maybe.
That's a joke about weed
Yes.
affecting people's memories.
Yes.
That's another little comedy. Yeah. The Stranger. The Stranger. I gotta get up. What is gonna be?
You're great. You can do everything.
Now, thank you. I only improviser because I had a good coach. Yeah. Wait.
Oh.
So here we go. Okay. So a beard. I got a beard.
Santa.
And I'm like score. Yes.
Manhunt.
Okay, but now, okay, this is like, you know, what I like, I want to have, but I haven't had, and
You're having sex? What? You're having sex?
Yeah, okay, and,
Sex
this is
with
like,
Lincoln.
some people
Abe
think,
Lincoln, sex alien. Abe Lincoln, sex alien.
Abe Lincoln, you read a movie called Abe Lincoln Sex Alien?
I think it was a stage play
Really?
in Chicago. Yeah.
Wow.
No.
No, it's Step Brother.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where did you get Abe Lincoln?
Buddy, you're the one guessing. You know what I mean? I have to say it.
You said yes.
And I'm an improviser. Sorry. Jeez. All right. Go next time. No.
I have one.
Oh, wait.
This is gonna get hard. You know
Yeah,
that.
no.
What about Joshua?
An ally has been slain.
I got it. We're all together in yeah, but
Studio podcast.
about a
City?
A podcast.
City.
studio.
Weird city.
community.
Community.
So you see why that's
You're
going to
better
get
at
cut.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's understandable. You're doing your audience a favor by cutting
It's
that.
like he just wants more work. Like he's got to cut it out.
Sweaty. You
Not a drop.
Yeah, that'd be drop.
Not a drop. It's either be you. If by right now you mean Saturday, February 22nd, because we're playing the Just for Laughs Festival in Vancouver. So get your tickets.
As soon as you possibly
Oh
can.
my God, Johanna, it's written right there, dude. Just say it. Right now. Oh, here's something I've always wondered, Matt Walsh. When I'm in LA, and I'm not traveling on the road with the premier goblin metal band Necrogoblicon, I see a lot of celebrities. And then I also see some people who I recognize from shows, you know, but I never want to approach them. Especially in New York,
Get on the ground right now.
fans of the show. Everyone's fans of the show.
Yeah.
But I wonder if someone is a fan of Matt Walsh, what would you want them to say or ask? How would you like to be approached, if at all?
You know, if it's
That was my first one that's going to get cut.
Your team
So,
has
hey,
destroyed
terrible
a
answer?
turret.
No, not terrible answer. Terrible question. Question.
yeah, it wasn't bad.
It was a bad question.
How do you give a fan a no? Like you have to be gracious and grateful for whatever you get.
And you know what, Matt? I didn't even realize this. That was a troll question. That just came to me. And I'm a goblin? Should I? Because that answer could get you in trouble. If you're like, you know what? I really like my fans. Over in the comments. Or if you're like, I just wish when they came, they would get down on one knee and say, Messiah, you are an acting god, or something like that. And then the people would get mad at you.
Yeah.
They would get so mad.
I can I ask you a couple questions?
Sure,
They
if
just-
they're good.
Well, we'll cut them too if they're not.
Absolutely.
Besides Wayne Brady, is there a famous person you'd like to meet? And in the world of, do you get shade from other creatures like werewolves or vampires? Like, do you guys get on in the universe
These are really good questions.
on the street, like here in LA, and you run into one of those types?
These are really good questions. Well, I only had 2 people on my list to get on the show. One of them was President. He can't. So I still need to get him on the show. Okay.
Has the A-team re-emailed him, or do they need to get on that? Like you gotta nudge people.
Yeah, get on.
You gotta
Thank you, Matt.
Sorry.
Because I really want
Turret
him to
plating
still
will
come on
fall
the show.
soon.
Yeah. You gotta just.
In fact, ask me if I still want him to come on the show.
Do you still want Fred Durst to come out?
And I'll never stop doing it. So, the second answer to your second question, Matt, is there are a lot of creatures out working in our industry,
Yeah.
all shapes and sizes. Not as many goblins. There's a really like a resurgence in this new year and year prior. I'm like, so I'm trying to kind of just reset the narrative and stuff. So far, knock on fake wood, that not a ton of them have come up with podcasts.
Okay.
You know, because that was it's a very untapped market. It really is. Especially for male comedians. You should tell your friends to start podcasts.
Weirdly, I happen to have a podcast. You say they're not common, but I happen to have a podcast.
Call!
Second in command. They didn't.
Hold on, no, Matt, it's not you. This is not you, pal. This is not you. You have a podcast. You're here to talk about it. The problem is, the podcast they asked you about, it ain't that one. It's called Bear Down. Is that the name of that podcast?
I haven't done that podcast in 10 years, probably.
Okay. All right.
8 years.
It's fine. It's fine. Take a little breather. Take a little breather. No, it's fine. I'm just here with a 2-time Emmy-nominated actor looking like a complete idiot.
But you said you don't have to do nothing. Just use ChatGPT. Is what you said.
Is that the time? I'm sure Matt Walsh in his busy schedule, because I'm looking at his IMDb, and he has just got to send
An ally has been
all of our
slain.
awesome Goblin Army over to check out his podcast about bears 10 years ago. No, chef. That's what I'll say that. Like a freaking idiot. I want to ask him about current things. Okay? Don't.
Should I be?
You don't have to. You don't have to. I'm so sorry you had to see that. So, you were in Drill Bit Taylor? Wow! I love that film.
Not a lot of fans.
Really?
Well, I mean, It's not the one they picked. That's cool.
So, what's your current podcast called? Because I want to get it right. But I'm gonna set you up. So what's it called?
It's called Second in Command.
Second in Command. And what's that about?
I do it with Tim Simons, a friend of mine from Veep,
Okay.
and we started going through a rewatch of the whole
Has
every season of Veep, and we went through every episode and had so much fun. So now we pivoted and we're just watching movies with the president or vice president, and we went on like it's fun. So we did The Rock, we've done we did Air Colors. And Air Force One is on the list. We haven't done Air Force One yet.
Okay, nobody guess. I'm not about it much fun.
We'll see. Yeah. I mean, there's a long list of people that, you know. Like, we have a lot of Kristen Bell on the show, and we want to serve, like, people who want to be on the show first that are going to grow our audience, and then we'll... So, you know what, a wedding is 2 tiers of invite? Because we've pivoted, we want to make sure that we let people know that this has changed a bit. So we're going to go first tier invite for like bigger celebrities, and then we'll go second tier, and then we'll go heavy on the second tier. I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I apologize. You're busy anyway. You're touring and you have a podcast.
Do you think cereal is soup? Do you think cereal is soup? You want to debate something funny?
Cereal is not soup.
Okay, he wins.
Oh, we gotta change the subject.
Just give me a second. Hold on.
An enemy has been slain. Double kill.
So, man, I got it. It's like... Not the way. Those expectations, I have a hard time No, we haven't even started recording. That's the bug. We literally haven't even started recording.
This is like, you don't want to burn through guests for like practice recordings.
But
Just as advice to you, because you're talented, but like, you guys got to get it buttoned up before you start having like guests.
okay, we're just gonna.
Do you know what I mean?
Nope.
I'm a fan of yours. You and I are good, and I apologize if I hurt your feelings
No, you didn't
about
hurt my
my
feelings.
podcast.
You didn't hurt my
I didn't
feelings.
mean to hurt
You
your
didn't hurt
feelings.
my feelings.
Okay.
You didn't hurt my feelings.
Okay.
You didn't hurt my feelings.
You don't need it.
You didn't hurt my feelings.
Our
You didn't hurt my feelings.
Down.
You didn't. Look, podcaster to podcaster. I mean, it's like there's a long list of people. You know, you know.
And it's still early 2025, so like, sure, we'll take them.
Yeah,
Yeah, not a lot of people are in town.
that's right.
An ally
And I
has
wasn't
been
excited.
slain.
Yeah.
Right, guys, I wasn't excited at all. And, you know, because I'm not a huge improv fan. And, you know, and always get guests on who have like a really, really extensive career. Man in baseball uniform.
Batty drives the bus?
Yeah, I got it. He got it.
Come on, really?
Yeah.
That's a theater play.
Fatty drives the bus, man.
Or wait, that's a movie. Yeah, that's a movie.
Nailed it. So, what's your favorite role? What are some of your favorite roles that you really enjoyed playing?
I got to be in an action movie called Into the Storm. I played a tornado chaser.
You played a tornado chaser.
That was fun because there's a lot of explosions and driving vehicles. That felt like an action movie.
I think I saw that movie.
Yeah.
And there's the cow, and it whizzes by.
Only cowards fear
Yeah.
death.
That's awesome. And they did a second one. Were you in the sequel?
No, that was Twisters. There was
Oh,
Twister.
you were in Tornado. What was it called?
Into the Storm. There was Twister. These are the tornado movies of recent time.
Okay.
Twister, Into the Storm, Twisters.
So you're in the sequel, and then there's just what's and you like doing action movies? So is that something as a comedian you don't get to do a lot of that you're excited to kind of because they're called what are they going okay.
Yeah.
And it's just are you State Farm?
That's State Farm, yeah.
Okay. So
Full man on.
State Farm calls you, and they're like, Matt, we got a role for you. What's it?
Boss, jerk, boss, husband, every man. What other guy? Well,
Ability, and I love that. What if you go back and want to play one more time?
one more time because I want
Okay,
a role I'd like to go back to. Driving trucks and running through like explosions and stuff. That was really fun.
would you say that's your favorite role? Because you cut that.
Oh, that's God.
Would you say that's your favorite role?
I don't think that's my favorite role. It's hard to choose a favorite role. Obviously, Veep was a great run. The writing is. Maybe this won't get cut.
I don't know where my question is. Drake, honest. I'm off book. I'm off book, honest.
What is job title for Warhammer? Look at the credits when the credits roll in the show. What is
I think it's something like that.
Producer, editor.
Producer editor.
Producer, editor, really? We gave you that? I'm sorry. I feel like I'm being 2024 John right now.
Enemy rampage.
And it's just because
Yeah.
I've had a little bit of an emotional roller coaster. Something happened off camera. Something happened off camera earlier in the show that the everything got recorded for. You know? Yeah, it really ruffled my on this show. And you deserve credit. Okay? You deserve credit, man. And I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give it to you right now. Actually, I already did. So, Matt, before I get you, I want you to know some of this information. Okay? I'm gonna give you right now. Okay? This is a rapid
Repeat.
Okay, so there's a snail chasing you. The snail is always moving at a snail's pace. And you can move as fast or as slow as you want, but the snail will always be moving towards you. Okay? Before you act, you can survive in any atmosphere. Yes, water and everything. So what's your plan to survive the snail?
Keep moving.
If you touch the snail or it touches you, you die. What's your plan?
Keep moving.
Keep moving. You're never going to sleep. You're just going to be tired, mad all the time. You're never going to
Upgrade a surplus of distance from the snail, thousands of miles that it would never be able to compensate for, so I could sleep safely.
You ever been to Trader Joe's?
Yes.
Thank you so much! The good Matt Walsh, everybody! Round of applause! Matt, so fun. I hope you have things to promote, and if you do, you can do so to that camera right there.
Well, I have a podcast that was on 10 years ago called Bear Down. It was about the Chicago.
Please check that out.
That might live somewhere, or you probably can't find it. And then I have another podcast which you can't find, which you will be on in the next podcast. Not the middle. But tour around. You can find like a little info. Yeah. Dad's Garage, and I can't remember the other.
When in January?
January 9th, 10th, 11th?
9, 10, 11. I'm going to be there.
Come on. We'll have to. Well,
You'll have
what are
to-
you asking?
You'll
What
have
do
to
you-
have me on the show and do
What's
improv.
that? No, we're already booked. We already have like a full roster. I thought you were saying like maybe we'll like see each other.
I'm an improviser and you're my coach, so what a great opportunity to get to perform than to just have me on stage, man, and just perform, right? Together.
Well, no, we already have like
Yes,
a cast.
and-
We have a cast.
Yes,
we have a full
and
cast.
hey, oh wait, hold on. Can I perform with you
Where?
on stage in Atlanta, January 9th?
I can't answer that because I have to talk to the guys
Okay,
and see
so
what they say.
make sure this show
I have shows in Atlanta at Dad's Garage on January 10th and 11th.
okay?
I think I already promoted it.
Anything in the future, because it may be 2025. Hey, great job. And I love that you're doing stuff on my show. I love that. But
What do you want me to promote on
there's a
my
little
show?
script under your chair, under the throne. A little script there. Matt, I'm also a writer.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah. So if you just kind of want to like give that a little cold read into camera,
This is
whenever
for
you're
your
ready.
fans?
Yeah.
You got it. Car horn noise. Are we going to do that live or are you going to mix that in later?
No, you just got to like the way you say it. That's a stage direction.
Read it or read it?
That's a totally stage direction.
Beep, beep. Hi there. It's me, Matt Walsh. No, not that Matt Walsh. The one who makes you go, wait, you look familiar and either I know you from TV and movies or you're here to fix my HVAC. I want all you upright citizens to like and subscribe to this channel and follow John and Necro Goblin on all their socials and of course order special shout outs from the Goblin and Cameo. You're on Cameo.
I'm like Cameo.
I'll find you.
Yeah, please do.
Now, if you're a Bears fan like me, there's not a ton to live for right now, but maybe seeing John Goblicon live could fix your life. Yes, chef. Sorry, yes, and chef. The Right Now podcast is doing live recordings in February in Vancouver for Just for Laughs, and in Austin in April for the movie. So get your tickets right
Yeah.
But should we say like go to like call to action? Usually there's a call to action at the end.
Oh, you guys do something? Is that what you're saying?
I'd love to buy tickets, but there's no website, so I guess I'm just gonna hang up and click off.
That's right.
So there's no call to
And
action.
everyone phone call. So they just hang up. Anything I don't want, like.
I watched your show on the gas station TVs too. That's
Yes,
pretty
and
good.
then you're like, hang on, I don't want to see this shit.
And elevators. I like to go in elevators and watch your show too. Sometimes.
That's where I saw most of your shows.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fun.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy you did
That's
this
why
show.
there's not a lot of comedies in theaters, because we're competing with gas station screens now, and we're competing with elevator screens now. There's a screen everywhere, so it's not special.
Links will be in the description.
I didn't hear all of that.
Yeah, definitely.
I just said, I told you the links will be in the description.
Hang on. I'd love to hang this up. So why don't we hang this up, and we can get your giant bike with the big front wheel out front, and like it's stolen if we don't go get it. Yeah. Okay. So look up. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Just have State Farm contact my State Farm guy. You can get 300 podcasts locked in, and we perform with you guys locked in.
5 or 6 years. For
Lock
sure.
it in.
For sure.
Lock it in.
Enemy has
All
been
right,
slain.
thanks, pal. Okay, he's
An ally has been slain. Your turret has been destroyed. Your inhibitor has been destroyed.
Forget the face.
So I know in the thumbnail I'm wearing glasses, and I want to look studious for this video, but this glare is not going to cut it. We will wear these glasses.
Requires different playstyle than proxying, I think. We need to have a conversation with Baus. I feel like he needs to talk to his chat and do a poll. And that poll should say, should his in-game name be The Baus or Baus? Because The Baus goes kind of hard. But Baus is very simple. But The Baus sounds kind of crazy. It's like The Shy, you know? He doesn't ping wards. There's a ward in the pit, isn't there?
My fucking broke ass has to walk around slowly.
Ludwig is gold 130. What time is it there? Isn't it really late? It's 12 o'clock here. It must be like 4 a.m. there. Oh, it is 4 a.m. What the hell?
It's okay, Cedral, you're
My guy's
still
sick
higher
and
rank
grinding
than
at 4 a.m. Was I grinding at 4 a.m.?
It's tough to
Nah.
say what I should buy
I never
first.
did
think
4
the
a.m.
answer's
grinds.
probably-
Because I have this philosophy in solo queue where I think you should play solo queue when you feel like you
I think they're on-
will play well, you know? So like I will drink coffee at 9 a.m. and I feel like I'll play well, have lunch, have coffee and I'll play well. But when I get to like 9, 10 p.m. and I'm kind of tired, I feel like I'll play worse and so I don't want to play. But if you can still play well, then I think it's fine to queue up, you know? It's whatever. If you play well at 4 a.m., queue at 4 a.m. But I don't like playing until I feel like sick or tired or whatever. I feel like I'm just gonna get more frustrated because I'll start inting, you know? Oh, he had a mega ult angle there. He got it off at least, but he could have had 3. Man, Amumu is so strong.
Flopside lol donated 10 euros. Just give the bus Zack and Tom top. Those champs are made
Yo,
for
Flopside, thanks for the 10 euros. Give him Zack and Tom Kench top. The problem is in pro play, Zack is a very weak champ. Look at his little face!
This guy's name is Fug You to Ludwig?
Fuck you, Ludwig is the Varus' name? What? And he was carrying? Wait, he's getting sniped by fucking snipers and they're carrying and I get sniped by people and you disco my ass? Are you serious?
When does the new season start? Also, I wonder what happened to X-Peak. Never hear any news about him anymore.
Holy fuck. Wait, how much
Honors
LP
all
did he get?
around.
How much MMR did you
Great
get?
game.
Or like how much LP did you get in MMR?
Great game. Great game.
26! Damn, that's a lot of LP. What the fuck? Yo,
Okay.
he's gotta queue another one then. Hey, can't end on a win.
Part of 7 total kills. We died 1 time. I
No
think our
joke,
death
you
was
can't
worth
end on a
it.
win. If you're on a win streak,
We
just
had
keep
7
going till you lose
points,
once and then go to
yes.
bed. That's what I
KP
do.
was quite low, 27%. Tom Kench was a bit of a menace. He had 13. KP Pantheon.
People
also a
say you
menace.
can't end on a loss. I disagree. I think if you're winning games, you can't end until you lose. You don't end on a win because you could have won the next game. If you're on a win streak, you keep the streak. You win streak until a lose and then you stop.
So we weren't really
That's the real
good
tech.
at that point, but
Trust me.
I think we played well. We took the most damage on the team while also having the least deaths on the team, which I think is a good thing to do. And
Alright, where's Reckless at? I want to talk to him.
yeah, did our
He queued up. He ignored me. He didn't see my Discord message.
Alistar is also good. But I have no...
We're gonna keep queuing. I am currently 3 games away from plat. And I'm not gonna leave a table while it is hot. The stream ends if I hit plat or if I lose a game. That's it. Oopie Luna, thank you for the prime. Lighthouse Down, thank you for the 15 months. Ice Punch Gabarade, thank you for the prime. You stood next to the kills? Yeah, I thought about getting Q to get involved, and I was like, whenever I get Q to do some early gank bullshit, it makes my clear so bad. And I was like, I would rather just have a good clear. I don't care. Your GG looks like a smurf? I don't think it does. I've just improved. I've been very consistently improving. Coaching has helped a lot. The things that I think are helping me, I think I'm getting good lobbies. Right? Like I'm getting people who I can work with. I have had coaching, which helps. It like at least let me think of new ideas, and you know. And then reps. I'm just learning more about a Mumu. Like, I feel like I'm pretty good at a Mumu now. But it probably took me 300 games to figure out basically everything about a Mumu. Or a lot about a Mumu. And he's not a complex champ. That's, you know. So imagine how long it takes to learn, like, Aurelia. And then, obviously, I think the most important thing is the mindset shift. I think this challenge for me was content until really about a month ago. During League Week, this was content. I didn't really care. I just wanted to do like the funniest stuff possible. Crashing out, people love. I was like, let me crash out. It's funny, whatever the fuck. Now it's different. Now it's just like, I care. I'm going to try as hard as I can to get the results I want to see. So that's one shift. And then another shift is, okay, well, I really care. I want this result. But to get this result, the last thing you can do is think about the result. You see what I'm saying?
Imagine starting your day in a tedious factory, surrounded by robots, when an unexpected alert changes everything. Suddenly, you're teleported into a chaotic world where you must face giant orcs, fierce wyverns, and hellhounds. Along the way, you meet people in need, a guy riding a bike in the weirdest way, and you begin unlocking powers that might be your only chance at survival. All this while searching for your missing family and relying on the most unlikely mode of transport to outlast the apocalypse.
But before we dive into the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It really helps us keep bringing you more content like this. Already subscribed? Alright, let's get into the video!
The main character of this manhwa is one of the most unremarkable individuals you'll ever meet, working at a logistics center to make ends meet. Kim Jong-yum isn't too fond of his job, and you'll soon understand why. When he attempts to make small talk with the robot beside him, the machine simply ignores him and gets straight to work. That's exactly what he dislikes about the place. The entire logistics center is filled with advanced AI robots that handle most of the labor. Jong-yum is responsible for overseeing everything, but there's no one around to chat with. He often feels down, missing the warmth of human interaction, and sometimes wonders if he's in the wrong place. This all began 2 months ago, right after he was discharged from the military, marking the start of a streak of bad luck. The first blow was when his parents relocated to the Jongbu. As a discharge gift, they paid the deposit and 6 months' rent for his small apartment, leaving him to live alone near his old school. Thus, his solitary life was forced upon him. Though financially stable thanks to government support and his parents covering rent, he took his time searching for a job, hoping to find the perfect opportunity without rushing. Unfortunately, things didn't go as expected, and he faced rejection after rejection before even getting a chance to prove himself. After a month of job searching, he was going stir crazy for college. One day, while venting to his sister about being the unemployed brother, she teased him mercilessly. During their conversation, she mentioned that many people were working as operators for delivery companies using AI robots to make things easier. His interest in people, which led him to this lifeless place where there's literally no one to talk to. Just as I'm narrating this, someone else calls out to him. This person looks rather grumpy and unpleasant at first glance. Someone who could easily pass for the manager. Anyway, the senior worker informs Jong-yum that they're out of tuna stock, despite the system indicating there's still some. He tells Jong-yum to check the warehouse for any missing stock, and of course Jong-yum agrees with a forced smile. Let's be honest, he finds the robots much warmer than his cold-hearted senior. As Kim enters the warehouse, the door behind him begins to close. He quickly searches for the tuna, eventually spotting it, climbing up to retrieve it. Just then, he hears the door slam shut with a loud thud. He tries turning the knob, but it's jammed. He calls his manager Shin, but there's no response. He briefly considers calling 911 but decides to leave, figuring it's not worth the trouble since he's not in immediate danger. Instead, he takes a selfie and sends it to his sister, letting her know he's trapped. She initially teases him, but then mentions hearing a building collapse near her house. Naturally, Jong-yum gets worried and calls her, but when she picks up, she stays silent. Just as he starts thinking it might be a prank, the entire warehouse shakes and an emergency alarm blares. The atmosphere turns chaotic, with announcements urging evacuation. Trapped in the warehouse with no idea what's happening outside, Jong-yum bangs on the door, but no one responds. Panicking, he tries calling 911 again, only to find there's no signal. He's losing his mind, wondering if there's a full-scale disaster outside. Suddenly, he hears something pounding on the door from the other side, each hit leaving massive dents in the steel door like it's made of cardboard. Trembling, he grabs hold of the door, instinctively knowing things have gone terribly wrong, and if he makes a noise, he's done for. Sweating, he drops to his knees, relieved when the pounding stops, though the noise and screams outside still terrifying. 3 days pass and he's still trapped inside, surviving on whatever food is available. With no one searching for him, he's convinced something catastrophic has happened. He wonders if there's a war going on and feels almost grateful to be stuck inside, thinking he might be safe. The alarm, which used to blare constantly, has been silent since yesterday, giving him a bit of peace. However, with his phone's battery running low, he's unsure how long he can last. This might be his final note to the outside world, praying someone finds him soon and keeps his family safe. Just when he thought it couldn't get worse, a system window pops up, notifying him that he's been selected and should check his awakened abilities. At first, Jong-yum thinks he's hallucinating, but then another window appears, revealing he's gained his own personal subspace for storing items. He starts to wonder if there's some kind of drug in the tuna cans he's been eating for the last 3 days. Another digital notification pops up, informing him that a target has been designated and asking if he wants to store it. Without hesitation, he confirms, and suddenly he feels himself falling, landing hard on the ground outside. Scrambling to his feet, he looks around only to find everything in ruins, debris and wreckage everywhere. He spots his senior lying dead nearby. As system windows keep flashing, our protagonist is too busy vomiting after seeing his senior's lifeless body. The system then announces that a suitable operating system has been found and is now being installed. Suddenly, he hears footsteps approaching from behind, casting a huge shadow over him, and he's almost certain this shadow isn't human. As the scene zooms out, we see a monstrous orc-like creature with sharp fangs and a massive, blood-covered body. Duhlion starts sweating profusely, trying to calm himself, hoping his worst fears. He convinces himself that the loud roar he heard 3 days ago might have come from a gorilla. Still, he doesn't dare look back and instead sprints away as fast as he can, running for his life. Panic rises as he realizes he's being hunted by a literal monster. In his frantic escape, he even steps on someone's entrails. He has no clue why an orc-like creature is here or why it's after him, but one thing is clear: he has to get away. Suddenly, a system window pops up, announcing that synchronization is complete and asking if he wants to enter the subspace. Without a second thought, Duhlion says yes, just as the monster's hand swings at him. He leaps into the portal, leaving the monster trapped on the other side, groaning in frustration. Duhlion is confused, wondering why the creature can't follow him. A floating drone appears, explaining that nothing can enter his subspace without his permission, as he is the master of it. The drone further clarifies that the subspace is completely under his control. Shocked, Duhlion feels a strange sense of deja vu seeing the drone talk to him. Looking around, he realizes he's back in the PX Fulfillment Center warehouse, but now it's part of his new subspace. The place is filled with the same robots as before. The system then informs him that as he's entered the subspace for the first time, he will be rewarded with a Mana Stone. The stone is already in his hand, but before he can figure out what he momentarily forgets he's being hunted by a monstrous beast and asks the system if it's sure the creature can't get in. The system reassures him that nothing can enter without his consent. A new system window appears, informing him that the PAX Fulfillment Center is a 5-story facility with a total area of 10,000 pions, approximately 33,000 square meters, and contains everything necessary for improving customers' lives. It can ship products at speeds of 60 kilometers per hour, with a maximum shipment size of 2 meters. Duhlion is just as baffled as anyone would be by all this information. The system adds to his confusion by stating there are only 2 minutes left until maintenance. Duhlion, still disoriented, asks if the facility will shut down after 2 minutes. The drone confirms this and explains that he can use the Mana Stone to power the facility and maintain operations within the subspace. With 1 Mana Stone, he can keep the facility running for 24 hours. Impressed by its efficiency, Duhlion listens as the drone explains that when the PAX Center was stored in the subspace, the energy system was modified to run on Mana Stones. Duhlion, still skeptical, asks if this is even real or just some sci-fi nonsense. Suddenly, the facility's lights shut off, and the drone begins flashing warnings. The PX system explains that the power has been cut, and if energy isn't restored, PX fresh products, items like fresh vegetables, meat, and Duhlion realizes that in a chaotic world like this, where outside of the war zone, food is essential for survival, the power outage in the freezers and refrigerators can be a huge problem. He asks the drone if the Mana Stone can really replace electricity. The drone confirms this, so Duhlion inquires how he can get more Mana Stones. The drone replies that Mana Stones can be obtained from creatures of other worlds. Clearly, Duhlion isn't thrilled at the idea of confronting a muscle-bound monster that could easily tear him apart. He tells the drone to use the Mana Stone for now, then rushes into the facility to gather weapons. Inside, he grabs as many weapons as he can, but a system window flashes their prices. With limited resources, he's worried he might run out of stock if he throws everything at the monster too quickly. He's also unsure whether these blades can even pierce the monster's thick skin. He figures that wounding the monster slowly, rather than trying to kill it outright, might be a smarter strategy. Since the creature can't enter his subspace, there's no rush to finish it off in one go. He'll focus on injuring it little by little, ensuring he doesn't waste resources or run out of weapons too quickly. Duhlion hurls an axe at the monster, but it only grazes its body, which only enrages the creature. With his original plan failing and aware that his weapon supply is limited, he decides to give the heavy axe another try, hoping it will be more noticeable than the axe. He asks the system how many axes are left in stock, and to his surprise, he's told there are 15 remaining. He was expecting far fewer, so the number takes him off guard. He quickly checks the location of these axes, and upon reaching the storage area, he's shocked to discover that the axes are duplicating infinitely. The system explains that the items are produced through a process that allows them to be duplicated endlessly. While they can be damaged or altered, they cannot be fully depleted. This revelation leaves Duhhlion stunned. If the system is right, he has an endless supply of weapons at his disposal. Surprisingly, the system confirms this. With this newfound knowledge, Duhhlion feels relieved, knowing he no longer needs to worry about running out of weapons. He can throw as many as he wants at the monster without fear of exhausting his stock. He realizes that his shoulders will probably give out before the monster does, but at least he has a seemingly unlimited arsenal. The system then reveals another useful detail. He doesn't even have to throw the weapons himself. He can automate the process, shipping items from the subspace to the outside world. The system clarifies that shipping can only occur every 30 seconds, but this speed can be increased by leveling up his skills. Duhhlion quickly asks how to launch the weapons, and the system tells him he only needs to think of the registered item and say ship to have it automatically sent out. As soon as the system explains this, Duhhlion says ship, and an axe hurtles through the air at incredible speed, slamming into the monster's grotesque face and bringing it down instantly. The axe was launched by the gun, and when Duhhlion asks about the speed of the throw, the system replies that the default shipping velocity is 60 kilometers per hour. Finally, Duhhlion understands what the system means by shipping speed. The system then informs him that he can adjust the speed to a maximum of 75 kilometers per hour, but anything faster will require skill upgrades. Naturally, Duhhlion asks how to upgrade his skills, and the system explains that he can do so by using mana stones. At this point, Duhhlion remembers the monster he just defeated and realizes that he'll need to fight more creatures to progress. He quickly gears up inside the facility. First, he grabs lightweight combat boots and fights the monster KRW. Once he's suited up, he Seoul metropolitan area is a permanent marker. He marks a circle around Gwangjin district, then highlights surrounding areas of a specific order. With his route planned, he decides to start with the Gwangjin district and gradually work his way toward his final goal, Ijungyu, where he hopes to reunite with his parents. Since he's starting from Gunpo and doesn't have a car, Duhhlion knows the journey will be long. Even though it's not as fast as a car or motorcycle, a regular bicycle is incredibly valuable in a post-apocalyptic world, and in this situation it might as well be a Lamborghini. He hops on the bike and pedals through the desolate landscape. After around 30 minutes, night falls and Duhhlion has already taken down nearly 12 orcs. He reveals that he's learned a valuable lesson from defeating, but before he can explain, a new monster appears and tries to attack him. Duhhlion quickly retreats to his subspace, leaving the creature outside. While the monster is stuck, he uses the shipment ability again to launch an axe at him. Unfortunately, the axe only hits the monster's shoulder, wounding it but not finishing it off. With the cooldown period of 30 seconds before he can shoot again in a range limit of 10 meters, Duhhlion realizes that his abilities, though impressive, need more refinement, and he can further improve them by collecting mana stones. Beyond shipment, Pax's ability has other applications, and we'll soon discover what those are. Suddenly, the monster notices movement and turns around, only to see the axe flying back into the portal and returning to the face again and finishing it off. This is actually the second function of Pax's shipping ability, known as automatic retrieval, which automatically brings back dispatched items, just as useful as the shipping ability itself. Duhhlion uses the retrieval function once more to claim the mana stone from the monster, all while wondering why he can't simply retrieve the mana stone without killing the creature first. He then asks Pax the same question and learns that he can only use his retrieval skill on the stone after killing the monster, as it belongs to him at that point. Regardless, Duhhlion steps out of his subspace and shares another vital piece of information about this apocalyptic world. It turns out that the creatures Suddenly, he hears cries for help, but before he can identify the source, the scene shifts to a man on the shore, desperately fleeing. He's so exhausted that each step feels heavier than the last, and the flying creature is chasing him. The monster swoops down, slamming into Choi from behind, sending him crashing to the ground in agony. There's another person behind Choi, but before he can help his fallen friend, the monster lands
Your
right in
turret
front of
has
him,
been destroyed.
blocking his path. Its fierce, drooling mouth suggests that human flesh is the most appetizing thing around. However, strangely, the monster doesn't attack the man standing before it. Instead, it fixes its gaze on Choi, who is writhing in pain on the ground. The man, confused as to why the monster is ignoring him, realizes it has been targeting Choi all along. Life seems like an easier victim. He feels helpless, unsure of what to do with only a small knife in hand, doubting whether it could even distract the monster. Just then, the sound of the bicycle bell rings through the air, and not surprisingly, it's our boy speeding toward them, though these two have no idea who or what is important. Before they can process what's happening, they witness the monster that was hunting them get struck by a projectile, sending it sliding across the ground from the force of the impact. The creature was felled by a single accident, leaving both men and Duhhlion quickly checks if they are okay, but they're still in shock. Their mouths are not really contracted to how someone on the bike is They immediately ask Duhhlion if he's the soldier, wanting their help in points to his uniform in response to their question. He explains that he's an employee of PAX FC, and they notice he's wearing a company. This revelation shocks them even more, as they had assumed he was a trained soldier, given his impressive skills and presence. Even though he's not a soldier, his abilities are so extraordinary that if they hadn't seen it themselves, they wouldn't have believed someone could take down a wyvern with just an axe throw while riding a bicycle. Duhhlion is surprised to find out that these people are already familiar with the company's abilities. One of them confirms this, mentioning that he himself has an awakened ability, though it's just a simple driving skill, which he hasn't had much chance to use under the circumstances. Choi then laughs, admitting that he's a bit jealous because he hasn't awakened any ability of his own. Duhhlion asks if there are more survivors nearby, and Choi confirms that there are. They're currently in Block 2, which houses a logistics center where many people gather, and unfortunately, so do the monsters. Most of the people were attacked, killed, or devoured, leaving only around 10 to 15 survivors who are now hiding in the underground terminal of Block 2. He goes on to explain that they were searching for a drivable road and trying to collect essential supplies from the monsters. The other man suggests that instead of continuing to talk there, Duhhlion should accompany them to their living quarters. He assures him that the monsters have never breached that area, and that they can sleep peacefully there, and even offer some snacks. As they begin to walk away, we take one last glance at the dead monster lying on the ground. At that moment, Duhhlion discreetly retrieves the mana stone from the creature's body and slips it into his subspace, relieved that the two men don't know about his ability. This way, if he has an escape plan in case things go wrong, he can always retreat into his subspace if necessary. A while later, they arrive at the basement, where they encounter a man who has just taken down an orc of his own. Choi rushes over to his friend, asking if everything is alright with what happened. The orc slayer assures him that all is well, claiming that the orc must have wandered in by accident. Fortunately, it hadn't spotted them, so they were able to take it out easily. No one was injured, but now they're less confident that the place is truly safe. Duhhlion feels a surge of fear, realizing how perilous this area truly is. His thoughts are interrupted when the orc slayer asks who he is. Choi explains that Duhhlion is the one who saved them from the wyvern and used to work for PAX FC. He also mentions that Duhhlion is quite powerful, having taken down the wyvern with an axe throw from a distance. Everyone is both amazed and curious about what kind of abilities he might possess. At that moment, a woman rushes toward him, absolutely ecstatic that he saved Yongsu and Byankal. Overjoyed, he begins to do a little celebratory dance. The rest of the group starts to gather around, showering him with praise. Duhhlion tries to calm him down, doing what was necessary. Telling him not to please the young guy. Just then, he expresses his deep gratitude for saving him and introduces himself as Lee Jean-Mac, the center manager of Daehoon Express Terminal. He even bows respectfully to thank Duhhlion for saving his two friends. After the introductions, Jean-Mac gives Duhhlion a quick overview of the place. He explains that while they can't guarantee total safety, it's far more comfortable than being outside. They have a stockpile of food and water from the logistics center, and he encourages Jong-Yun to eat as much as he wants and to make himself at home. Gene Mac adds that they have enough supplies to last for a while and can always get more from the logistics center if needed. However, Yosu interrupts, pointing out that the logistics center they're talking about has suddenly vanished. The group is left wide-eyed and speechless at this absurd news. Gene realizes what Yosu means by this. Ford confirms it, explaining that the building has literally disappeared, which is why they were being chased by the wire. The others are skeptical, questioning how such a massive structure has simply vanished. Gene Mac, though stunned, eventually accepts the reality, reasoning that if monsters like the ones they've encountered are real, then a disappearing building might not be so unbelievable. Jong-Yun remains silent, unsure whether the disappearance of the logistics center is connected to his own psychosis. The manager urges them to focus, stating that regardless of the situation, they must dig through the tunnel. Staying here will only make things worse. He encourages everyone to stay strong, saying that their time has just come a little earlier than expected and that they need to start heading into the tunnel as soon as possible. The woman from before, now fired up, tries to rally the group, reminding them that even if they must keep moving forward and force their way out. Jong-Yun turns to the manager, asking what forcing their way through actually means. The manager explains that everyone has homes elsewhere, and vehicles are essential for getting around. But with the roads blocked, they need to find a way through. Jong-Yun's interest peaks at the mention of vehicles, and he asks for more details. The manager confirms they do have working vehicles, but says all the roads are blocked. A golf course containers block the east, and the southern Yangdong Expressway is completely destroyed. The only remaining exit is the tunnel to the west, but unfortunately, a group of wyverns has taken control of it. Up until now, they've survived by scavenging supplies from the logistics center, but now they have no choice but to push through. The manager then tells Jong-Yun that he doesn't have to go through the tunnel since the blocked roads only affect vehicles, and there are other ways to escape on foot or by bicycle. Jong-Yun insists that he also needs a vehicle, believing it's best to take the tunnel route. The manager doesn't argue further and tells him he's welcome to join them if he's up for it. Jong-Yun grins and says he'd be happy to work with them. He also thinks to himself that it's better to keep his abilities hidden for now. While the group seems nice, he knows they've been struggling to survive, and they might not be entirely forthcoming about their situation. Jong-Yun understands their need for secrecy and plans to stay cautious as well. He then turns to the manager, saying he wants to check out the situation at the tunnel and the wyverns. He claims he's planning to scout ahead, but in reality, he's eager to use his abilities to wipe out the monsters and collect more mana stones. The scene briefly flashes back to when Jong-Yun defeated several monsters and saved up 5 magic stones. With these stones, he's now able to reduce the cooldown on his shipping ability to just 5 seconds. That's when he sees 3 new shipping abilities. The first is Precise Delivery, which locks onto his target when he's a hit. The second is Simultaneous Delivery, which 2 items at once. The third is Automatic Delivery, which lets him deliver designated items automatically with adjustable timing. 10 stones, and Jong-Yun can't wait to try them out, though he's still unsure about the exact function of automatic delivery. In the present moment, Jong-Yun is grinning, thrilled about the mana stones he's collected and eager for his scouting mission to earn more, or so he thought. His excitement is quickly dashed when he finds himself stuck with Yongsu, one of the guys he had saved earlier. When Jong-Yun asks why he's at Yongsu replies that it's too dangerous to go outside alone. Jong-Yun reminds him that he was the one who was Yongsu insists that it doesn't matter. He can't let him go alone. Besides, he's confident that if needed, Jong-Yun will save him again. Jong-Yun recalls that Youngso mentioned he had awakened a driver's ability, so he asks if Youngso can see a message window or something similar. Youngso replies that he hasn't seen any window, but he feels deep down that he's awakened some sort of ability. It just hasn't fully developed yet. This answer isn't exactly comforting to Jong-Yun, who starts feeling more concerned. As night falls, they zoom down the road on their bike at crazy speeds. Jong-Yun is sweating in fear as he watches Youngso steer the bike with one leg while trying to maintain balance. When Jong-Yun asks why he's driving like that, Youngso explains that the road is full of cars and it's hard to see. Suddenly, Youngso spots a wyvern. Jong-Yun quickly tells him to stop because he can't see anything. It seems like the monster has finally noticed them, and as it stares menacingly, Young-so nervously asks what they should do. Just then, a projectile strikes the wyvern, taking it down in one shot, leaving Young-so utterly shocked. Meanwhile, tells him to focus and not to stop. While speaking, he distinguishes the tree from the next stone and stashes it as a finally, slams on the brakes. Before Jong-yun can ask why he stopped in the middle of the road, the answer becomes clear. They see a horde of monsters crawling around the area. Young-so is absolutely terrified, and Jong-yun wouldn't be surprised if Young-so had already panicked and run away. As one of the monsters starts advancing toward them, Young-so is convinced their time is up. Even with the electric bikes, there's no way they can outrun so many wyverns. Just as Young-so braces for the worst, Jong-yun realizes he has no choice but to use his subspace ability. He quickly pulls up his system and dumps his mana stones to reduce the cooldown from 30 seconds to 5 seconds. What Jong-yun is doing, he doesn't explain. Meanwhile, the monster roars and every nearby creature starts converging on him. In the nick of time, Jong-yun shouts, "Shit!" and a projectile drops, taking out the monster and saving Young-so. Looking back, still panicking, Young-so's eyes widen as he spots a portal behind them. After defeating the monster, Jong-yun quickly grabs the stones and tells Young-so to stay close. It's the only way he can protect him. Young-so agrees, though he remains completely clueless about what's happening or why there's a logistics center behind them. Just then, more monsters appear, but Jong-yun swiftly deals with one using his axes. As more monsters prepare to attack, Young-so panics and stumbles back, eventually falling into the monster crashes into the subspace barrier, while Young-so falls to the ground and shot. The monster regains itself and charges him, but Jong-yun slips into the subspace just in time. The creature slams into the barrier once more before being taken down by another monster. Young-so watches the logistics center and flying out, but he's certain of one thing. To Jong-yun, these monsters are nothing more than and how the tunnel was part of their escape route. Even if they made it through, monsters still lurked outside. But for Jong-yun, things are different. He only needs the vehicle for transportation since he can handle any threat he needs. Young-so even begins to feel a tinge of jealousy, thinking how with an ability like Jong-yun's, he can handle his family much faster. He wonders why Jong-yun needs a vehicle in the first place. Suddenly, they notice the monsters starting to retreat. Jong-yun is intrigued, noting that these creatures are smaller than Young-so spots a blue stone hovering in the air and asks what it is. Jong-yun, surprised, asks if he's never seen a mana stone before. Young-so admits he hasn't, so Jong-yun explains that he uses them to boost his abilities. Young-so finally understands and wonders if he'll ever get a chance to use one himself. This clears up why Young-so may be buying and strategy. Young-so apologizes for Young-so asks how far Jong-yun plans to travel. Jong-yun explains that he's trying to reach his family in Jeonbu, near the Gangnam district. This revelation surprises Young-so because his own destination is along the same route. He shares that he's heading to Indaequan, which is on the way, and asks if it would be too much trouble to let him tag along until then. Jong-yun hesitates, unsure how to respond, but Young-so continues, admitting that even if he makes it through the tunnel, he's not confident about reaching home safely. His driving ability isn't much help in combat, but since Jong-yun can fend off monsters, he might have a better chance of reuniting with his family. Young-so then promises to help Jong-yun get to Gangnam faster than anyone else and swears he won't be a burden. He even offers to provide food along the way. Jong-yun starts to see some merit in this partnership. Young-so's driving skills are impressive, and more importantly with him around, his secret abilities might stay hidden. It's a mutually beneficial arrangement since Jong-yun fears that if word got out about his powers, people might try to use or even eliminate him, though that might be overthinking. still better safe than sorry. Ultimately, Jong-yoon agrees to let Young-so come along, and Young-so beams with excitement like a child in a candy store. Jong-yoon then informs him that he'll handle clearing the tunnel, but emphasizes that Young-so should keep his abilities a secret and make sure Young-so eagerly agrees, vowing to make sure everyone cooperates and stays out there. However, things don't go as planned. Young-so, in his excitement, ends up telling everyone that Jong-yoon will clear the tunnel using his awakened abilities. All they need to do is wait outside until he's finished. Jong-yoon is left in disbelief, realizing that Young-so just cleared the secret. The others are stunned by the news and quickly watch Jong-yoon in action, while Young-so proudly explains. Meanwhile, Jong-yoon curses his bad luck, knowing he's now stuck in a difficult situation. In the end, Jong-yoon steps forward and announces that by the next morning, he'll have the tunnel cleared so everyone can leave. In his mind, helping them seems like the best option, especially since they still have food, which should keep things calm for now. However, once the supplies run out, chaos might ensue, so it's smart to clear the tunnel and ensure everyone's safety. Just then, the manager approaches Jong-yoon, stating he won't pry into his abilities or ask questions about them. Instead, the manager expresses respect for Jong-yoon's decision to help everyone. He offers some food from their reserves as thanks, which surprises Jong-yoon. This level of generosity feels overwhelming. The manager explains that because Jong-yoon risked his life scouting the tunnel, the least they can offer is a bit of food. Now that he's clearing the tunnel for them, they feel like they can't repay him enough. They apologize, saying that all they can offer is their gratitude. Jong-yoon insists that they did it for his own reasons and that they don't need to go to such lengths. He tells them to keep food for their families, but Young-so steps in, telling Jong-yoon to accept it, reminding him that he also has a family to think of. At that moment, Jong-yoon sees how eager everyone is to reunite with their loved ones, which fills him with a sense of sadness. He doesn't want to take them. The next morning arrives, when they reach the tunnel entrance, Jong-yoon instructs everyone to stay back. He begins cutting into the tunnel, determined to clear that tunnel. As he gets closer, he spots the monsters ahead. But before the scene shifts to his battle, he flashes back to his childhood. We see a young Jong-yoon with a sore eye from a fight with his sister. He complains to his father, leading to another argument with his sister, which ends with him walking in front of their dad. That's when his father comes to the birthday scene, reflecting on how he was a child and always wanted to talk to his sister. He tells them that despite their fighting, they'll eventually realize how precious family is. Suddenly, their mother bursts into the room, sparking a lively argument between the parents. Jong-yoon feels that they are seeing how excited everyone is about reuniting with their family. He knows they were not going to interfere with them. They spend another waiting for Jong-yoon to ensure their safety. Young-so wakes up to use the bathroom. Air a while ago. Curious, Young-seo walks further ahead, scanning the area, and eventually spots Jong-yoon. He quickly asks why Jong-yoon can't just go to sleep, to which Jong-yoon replies that he can't sleep. Completely baffled, Young-seo asks why Jong-yoon is giving away so much. Jong-yoon casually explains that he only loaded all the supplies to avoid weighing the vehicle down, but assures him it's more than enough for everyone. Young-seo is even more shocked when Jong-yoon mentions that this is the last vehicle he had to load. The realization hits hard. If this is the last one, then Jong-yoon must have packed the other 15 vehicles with the same amount of supplies. Jong-yoon quickly tells Young-seo